in the top corner somewhere. Just a second. There we go. Hello. We are live. Welcome to Brisbane Small Business. I'm Jatixa Raniga from the Profitable Small Business, and today we have Carl from 5-Star Reviews. So welcome, Carl. Thank you for joining me today.
Good, thanks, Jatixa. Oh, that's a hard one to say. Did I say that right?
It is a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Sorry, you'll get used to it. So, Carl, do you want to introduce yourself, tell everyone that's watching who you are and the business that you run, or the two businesses that you have?
Yeah. So my name's Carl, and my main business is the diamond business, so called Xenox Diamonds. We're actually that's where we met, was in the showroom a couple of weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And my new business that came out of, I guess, the COVID pandemic was this whole business around 5-star reviews and helping businesses really optimize their client journey experience so they can turn these amazing client testimonials into an SEO powered Google review that really just drives leads and sales to their business 24/7 with a $0 cost marketing spend. So that's the the transition, which is what I guess we're going to talk about today, is that transition of moving from a really product based bricks and mortar to really a service based on two different beasts, I guess, in the way that they're run, and it's definitely been a steep learning curve for me.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's a very different experience having bricks and mortar and online. There's lots of different components to think about, I guess, right? So, I mean, you're hugely experienced running Xenox Diamonds, so like you'll know that obviously more than the back of your hand, but you know some of the ways that can improve profitability from a bricks and mortar sort of store is very different to online. And we were just chatting before the show. So the first things that came to mind were staffing. Like staffing is predominantly more so for bricks and mortar. I mean, you'll obviously have staff for online as well, but having the right staffing levels for a proper shop that people can go to is crucial. How do you find managing the staffing level for your business, Carl?
Well, I mean, for the diamond business, pretty easy because I appointed a general manager to manage all of that for myself. So I don't have to be there and handle that. But yeah, it is that kind of like accelerator and brake sort of thing, like between the leads and the business coming in, and then having the right people to service them. I guess in our business, it's quite a complex one because we really need trained people. They're not something that you can just walk in off. It generally takes somewhere between 4 to 6 months to train somebody up to that level where they're proficient enough to really look after one of our diamond clients. But transitioning to the 5-star stuff, I've got a couple of support team in the Philippines, which is obviously a lot more economical. And I also have a local person here on the ground that's helping me also with the marketing and I guess also being that kind of client interface. So when people are talking on the phone, they're talking to, a native Australian as well.
Yeah, and it takes time to find the right balance for that as well. Like, with bricks and mortar, knowing what your ebbs and flows of how many people are coming in and out. So you're not overstaffed and you're not understaffed for customer service. But same, I guess, applies for online. Like you don't want to have too many people like just, sitting there kind of twiddling their fingers, but you still want to be able to have outsource some of those tasks so that you can get on with the fundamental things. So it's important to have the right balance of people within your business.
I think the other thing that's been really instrumental is making use of the government grants that are available at the moment. So, the government has this apprenticeship sort of scheme where if your team, if they've just been, I think it's about 3 months that they've been with you, and they enroll in a Cert 4, the government's paying like 50% of their wage up to like, I think it's 56 or 52,000, something like that. So that's also been really instrumental in helping with the profitability of both businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot out there. So if you are trying to scale and grow your business and transition to online, like speak to people that have done this process before, because they may, like you've just mentioned, grants. Like it might not be common knowledge for most people to know that those resources are available. So it's important to keep up with what's out there. And again, like I said, it sometimes does take a bit of time to understand what your business needs, and you can change it. Like, again, if something isn't working quite right, like, you've got the power to kind of change it up a bit.
Yep.
The other thing I see, I thought I'd mention, is when you're moving to online, you're kind of bombarded a bit with all these subscriptions and apps and website things that you may need to have in your business. I know for myself, when I've worked with clients, I've noticed that some people just overload with unnecessary subscriptions and unnecessary apps because, they see the new shiny object and it's like, oh, I must sign up for that straight away. How have you found moving into that online space and seeing so many different like apps and resources available? Like, how have you found managing what works well for you? Because that's a big cost killer, really. Like, there's so much you can sign up for.
So previously I had, a couple of different platforms, a CRM that was with Active Campaign. I had an SMS service. I had, another sort of payment gateway. And then what I did is I found one company that does all of that for one subscription, and that one subscription that does the messaging, the email automations, the payment gateways, all of that in one is actually, significantly cheaper. The company's called Lana, which is really super cool. And that's what they do. So you can set up, all your automations asking for a Google review, and automate that if they don't do the click, that it automatically within 2 or 3 days kind of asks them again. So that's really really cool from a leveraging point of view. And I think the plans are pretty reasonable. I think they start like at $50. So
That's great.
So finding a subscription model that has also lower end. Some of them are like really super high on their premium.
Yeah. So it's good to then be able to work that out. Like, finding something that incorporates everything that you need is a good cost saving activity to do. But yeah, I find some people kind of subscribe to the same thing multiple times. I've even had someone that had 2 accounting systems going on, which I was like, completely blow my mind away. But you mentioned something else there, which I've mentioned in the past as well. So the payment gateway is another one that often steals some of your profitability if you're not aware of how your customers are paying, or if you provide so many different payment options, they all incur lots of different fees. So the resource that you mentioned, Lana, does that incorporate payment gateway as well?
Yeah, Stripe account. It just links in to your Stripe platform. It's probably one of the more economical gateways.
Yeah. So it's often a forgotten cost. So being aware of some of the things that you're paying for will impact your bottom line, I guess. So is there anything else that you've found a big transition to online? We've mentioned staffing, obviously having the staffing right in your business. It doesn't matter whether you're online or a bricks and mortar, like just having that right balance. Mentioned apps and subscriptions, but inventory as well would be another one. Is that something that's impacted your business? Obviously, with the jewelry business, obviously you're going to have inventory, but with a service business, you don't really have the inventory, I guess.
That's the great thing about diamond business, like diamonds and gold, they never go off. So you just always remodel them, turn into something new, and get a new life.
Your internet, I can't hear you very well at all. Your internet's kind of breaking up. You're a bit crackly. Do you mind saying that again?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
A little better.
Yeah. Basically, saying that gold and diamonds never go off, so you can always just take the stones out, remodel it, turn it into something new, and create a new chapter. Although what I've appreciated moving into the coaching side of things is just that whole functionality of having no stock. That is a major killer in terms of the balance sheet when it comes to profitability in a product-based businesses like with diamonds and gold.
Yeah, huge. It's inventory is the biggest thing when you have a product-based business, to be like totally aware of, like, knowing your costs, not just how much inventory you're holding, but any waste. Like, I mean, like you said, thankfully yours doesn't go off, but in a lot of businesses, expiry dates to consider. There's wastage, there's stock that goes obsolete. I guess one thing would be fashion. That would obviously affect your business as well, but keeping up with the trends in the business would affect how much inventory you keep of a certain style, for example. But those sorts of things, even if you are transitioning from a bricks and mortar to an online product-based business, like those things are something to be aware of. Like, you don't want to overstock on something that's only going to last 5 minutes, and then you're going to have to throw it away or whatnot.
I think one of the things that we made a decision a couple of years ago to do, and it's been a really big shift for us in the diamond business, was to really reduce stock inventory down significantly. I mean, we probably over the last 4 or 5 years have reduced our stock holdings by half and just turned the stock a lot faster. So, it's really doing a lot more with less.
Can you say that again? It's just completely crackled up.
Okay, I can hear you perfectly fine, so I'm not sure why it is working. Just said that the last 4 or 5 years we pretty much halved our stock holdings so that we can do a lot more turnover with less inventory, and kind of like become a lot more profitable that way rather than holding lots of stock.
Okay, I'm just gonna. It was a little bit crackly, but yeah, I kind of got what you're saying. So just re-looking at your stock holding, and when you reduce that stock holding, it does impact your profitability. Like not holding too much. So yeah, and like you mentioned, I don't know if everyone heard or not, but having this inventory is a huge impact to your balance sheet, which you mentioned. So if you are a product-based business, that will be probably one of your key focuses to look at how much you're holding. So we've spoken for quite some time now, Carl. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about? If you had another question or at all?
No, I think that was really good, fleshing that out, going through some of the difference between a bricks and mortar and an online, and I guess some of the things to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's heaps more we could talk about. Like there's discounting and all sorts of things that my brain's kind of racing through at the moment. But yeah, we've spoken for a while. But maybe we can catch up again in the future, Carl.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Carl. I really appreciate your time. Sorry about the little technical difficulties today as well. But
no problem.
Thank you. If you have anyone watching and got any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I will see you on the next show. Thanks, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.